had a child, and they stayed married for 44 years until my mother died. 6 months later, my father told me he was gay.
I'm gay.
I remember him wearing a purple sweater when he told me this, but actually he wore a robe.
I'm gay.
When did you feel like your life experiences could be a movie?
Well, it's really more my dad's life experiences, but the only way I knew to write about it was like from my perspective. So lo and behold, me or my doppelganger, my fictional self got into the story. But my dad coming out and just the bravery that he expressed and the willingness to like risk so much for love was really contagious and really alive and really kind of insane to watch. And so how could I not write about that?
What's it like playing the man who is directing you and writing you in this film?
It wasn't ever a burden, or I never felt any pressure about it, because Mike is a wonderful director and an understander of actors, and he never made me feel like I needed to do an impersonation of him, or he wanted Oliver in the film to be my version of... He wanted to be Oliver, not Mike Mills.
So I always hear it's hard to work with animals. Is it harder to work with Arthur the dog or Jar Jar Binks the Gungan?
Well, it's very... let me answer it like this. It was a great pleasure to work with Cosmo. He's a lovely little dog. He plays Arthur in the film. And in actual fact, he and myself are really the only two characters who take part in both halves of the story, beginners. And I loved him very dearly, and he really is properly a good little actor.
Hello?
Oliver?
Yeah. They had some wonderfully loud music in the club tonight.
What kind of music's that?
Probably house music.
House music. Okay. House music.
Whether it was on screen or off, did you have a favorite Christopher Plummer moment?
Lots and lots. So Christopher tells you stories about working with. He tells you stories about some of the people he used to knock about with, Elizabeth Taylor, and unbelievable list of wonderful actors. But my favourite moments were just when I was working with him. Christopher's 80 years old, and from another generation of actors. But when you're working with him, he's an extraordinarily contemporary actor, really a modern actor, and plays absolutely. It feels like I was Oliver and he was Hal in those scenes. It didn't feel like Christopher Plummer giving a great performance.
So we have mainstream movies about homosexuality. Why do you think we don't have a mainstream gay movie star?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I think we're probably we don't. Oh, I hadn't given it much thought. Well, we're probably hurtling towards that very moment. I'm sure it won't be very long.
Why do you think we don't have a mainstream gay movie star?
I mean, I could see us having a gay mainstream movie star too. Like in America, wouldn't mean that we're all progressive and that we're treating homosexuality with an open heart and fairly. But that is pretty weird, isn't it? I never got asked that question. I don't have a good answer for that. I think in America, there's still so much fear. There's still so much, us and them going on. And people say, oh, it's so different now. Your father could have come out now. It's not entirely so different. There's still a lot of misunderstanding and hatred and self-hatred, and it's not like that battle's all done at all.
Once again, it's time for quick questions.
How do you take your coffee?
Black.
I like it with just a little milk, no sugar.
Favorite TV show?
Modern Family.
I don't watch TV. But from the past, I grew up watching MASH, adore MASH.
Worst job you've ever had?
I worked in a trout farm for a week shortly after the tanks had been clogged and all of the fish had died. That was the first day I arrived, my first day on the fish farm. I had waders and a net, and I spent 14 hours scooping out dead fish.
I worked at McDonald's.
Just something you can't wait to do.
Have a day off.
Go to India.
Sex, life, healing, nature, magic.
I'll be back tomorrow with my review of Beginners. Back to you guys in the studio.